Hey everybody, this is Alex, and I'm going to talk about my dad's retirement ceremony after 31 years in the Air Force, the US Air Force. So, this isn't a presentation, it was a series of three speeches that I'm going to talk about, and each speaker had a different presentation style. All of them were dressed correctly for the occasion in uniform, and they all knew how to stand and present themselves on stage. So the first speaker, and I'll provide you with some context, was my brother. He just graduated from Tax P school, and he was the one actually retiring my dad, who's a colonel. This is really unusual for someone of my dad's rank to be retired by somebody so fresh, but we made it a sort of family affair. Having this family dynamic at the ceremony allowed my brother to deliver his speech framed in the story of his upbringing. So, my source from Harvard Business Review really stresses the importance of framing any sort of message you're delivering within a story. People are wired to take in stories, so it's a good idea to try to have that for them to process it. My brother also addressed the audience in a way that held their attention and even got a few laughs. And he ended in a very, very memorable way, sort of taking the torch that my dad was handing down. The second speaker recognized that he had to build off of this energy and excitement that the first speaker had built, but it became obvious that the atmosphere my brother left behind was not one that he had planned for in his speech. And then the third speaker took that a little farther and made the whole ceremony feel a lot more somber and melancholy, but he had an easy transition into the next stage of the ceremony, which saved him from audience disengagement. Having the contrast between the three speakers made their strengths and shortcomings stand out. For me, the importance of stage presence was highlighted. So the real life application, if I were the leader, what would I have done differently, and what do I think the most important elements of communicating through presentations are? I don't think I would have done anything differently, actually. If anything, if I were one of the speakers, I might have spoken to the other two speakers to get an understanding of what they were going to say while I wrote my own speech. But I think the most important elements of communicating with a presentation is to maintain audience engagement. This means having stage presence and understanding who you're talking to, and this understanding allows you to adjust your tone, your angle, and your speaking style accordingly. The Harvard Business Review stresses also the importance of avoiding too much jargon and making sure that the ending of the presentation isn't weak. Having a weak ending to your presentation is probably one of the worst things. It means it helps it kind of go in one ear and out the other if it's weak. So you got to make sure it's strong and that it has impact at the end. Yeah. So, yeah, thank you so much.